morning, boys and girls. Our project is fast approaching its grisly end. William is here, and I think he has been inspired by the story of Mary Queen of Scots. He's surrounded by some of his most famous works. William Shakespeare was famous for writing 3 types of plays. He wrote comedies, he wrote histories, and he wrote tragedies. I'm sure Mary Queen of Scots was one of the inspirations for some of the tragedies that he wrote. William Shakespeare is fascinated by character, and he wrote some of the greatest characters of all time. But let's, before we move on, look at some of the characters in the latter part of the life of Mary Queen of Scots. Here we have Lord Bothwell, Mary Queen of Scots' 3rd husband. Now there are 2 schools of thought on this character. Some people think that he was the love of Mary Queen of Scots' life and she was so happy to marry him. Other people believe that he forced her to marry him because he wanted to be king. And the truth of the matter is, nobody knows for sure what the answer is. He left Mary after the Battle of Carberry Hill, when Mary was arrested and taken to Lochleven Castle. He rode through Scotland until he arrived at the north and jumped on a boat, getting as far away from this country as he could. However, his boat was intercepted by a Danish boat and he was taken prisoner to Denmark. This was not good for Lord Bothwell, because he had an old girlfriend who was really bearing a grudge against him in Denmark, and she wanted him absolutely punished for basically dumping her at the altar. So for 10 years, Lord Bothwell languished in a Danish cell. The conditions were apparently atrocious, and he was chained to a metre-high pole with just a tiny little area to walk around for 10 years. He died a horrible death, I believe, absolutely insane. So not a good ending, a very tragic ending for him. And here we have the brother of Mary Queen of Scots, the brother who was now in charge of looking after her young son, infant son, who was now King of Scotland and would one day be King of England. He had a grisly end as well. Not long after Mary arrived in England, he was murdered by some of Mary's followers. People ask whatever happened to her brilliant friends, the 4 Marys. Well, the 4 Marys stayed by Mary's side until the very end. Very special friends. And last but not least, here we have Elizabeth and Mary Queen of Scots. Rivals, only one in the end of the day was ever going to survive. And in our story, it is Elizabeth. I have added a little video from a Channel 5 programme that just tells you the differences between these queens and the competition. But I do believe that when Mary went to England to ask Elizabeth I for help, Elizabeth feared Mary, but probably wanted to help her. Sorry about my screen going off there. The other thing is, it's a very complex relationship, the one between Mary and Elizabeth. And it is my belief that Elizabeth did not want to kill the Queen of Scotland. Lots of people think that Mary Queen of Scots and Queen Elizabeth I met, but history records that they did not. Boys and girls, just a little bit about the characters. and we'll hear more on Wednesday. Bye.